Hey, what up? What up? This is Jay Spool. Movies, music, sports, and life. I'm riding around at almost 2 o'clock in the morning. I go to work early. I know I'm an educator, but just watched Power Book 3, Raising Kanan, Season 3, Episode number 1. And I don't know about y'all. Well, I do know about y'all. A lot of y'all think that Ghost is the best spinoff series. And some of y'all even got the nerve to say Force with Tommy is the best or the second best. And y'all be putting Raising Kanan as like the third best series. And I'm not really sure what else 50 Cent got to do for y'all to change that opinion. Of course, you can have your own opinion, but dude, this is clearly the best show, man. This is the only show of all the spinoffs in the so-called Power universe that is as good as the original Power. In some ways, I think the acting and the writing is better. More impactful. I don't think anything can be more impactful than the original because it was so impactful that there was such a demand. People identified with the character so much that you was able to create a universe. You was able to, and salute to 50 because you're extending, black actors' careers. Michael Rainey Jr., aka Tariq, like you extended his career as an actor by the original Power being so popular. But this is just different, man. Raquel, aka Patina, she is just incredibly beautiful. Like, she got the big eyes and the long eyelashes that I just think any man, I feel like she could just have her way with, and the fact that she's such a killer, like when she has the vulnerable moments, like with Symphony, who obviously is done with her, and now with Unique, it's just very believable. I could just see how any man would be caught up in her, with her being so ruthless, and then if she's really feeling you, she show you her soft side. So her acting and her portrayal of the character is miles beyond Mary J. Blige. It's miles beyond Tyreek, aka Michael Rainey Jr. It kind of starts with her. But then I think when you go to Jukebox, the scene when she started crying and she leaned into her dad's arms, just the fact that he literally tried to choke her out in either season 1 or season 2. It's to the point I forget as to when he tried to choke her out. Just the very fact of how much hatred she had for that man. And now, they want my seatbelt on, y'all. Just how vulnerable she is with him. It's just, they've shown a lot of growth in this show. And it's only 3 seasons. It's only 3 seasons in. And they already showing growth. So Marv was there to comfort her, with the loss of her mother. Now, I was going to talk about how good Um, Omar, uh, how good his acting has been. I'm hoping I'm saying his. For some reason, I'm drawing a blank on the cop. 50 Cent's Kanan's dad in the movie. I don't know why his name is drawing a blank on me. But instead of just talking about how good his acting has been, let's just get to what y'all want to hear about. So they're in the car. So just like I'm in the car late at night and I got the light on just so y'all can see me while I'm driving. I don't know what it is about white people in terms of they lack of street sense, at least as depicted on television. Because there isn't enough lack of street sense in the world for me to get into a car at night with a man who I already believe is dirty, that I already believe put a hit out on a junkie. You're gonna tell that man to his face that you know he put out a hit out on a hit out on a junkie. You're telling him to his face all these damaging things that you know. My only question is, were you 100% sure when he got in the car that he was going to blow her brains out? I was. The only thing that surprised me was that she was the one that was taping. I would have thought it would have been him the one that was taping. But I guess if I really think about it, I guess what advantage would he have in taping it with the things that she was saying? Because unless you do some editing, how can you put it back on her to make it seem like she's being a bad cop? But yeah, he rocked her snot box, as Hassan Campbell would say. He turned off her TV. And you know, characters like that, it's like you hate to see him go, but doesn't a part of you just look at it like, what else was supposed to happen to you? How much can your character grow if you're just like on a mission? You know, being a cop is like a fraternity. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Omar didn't do it himself. Probably one of the other cops on the force would have did it. Because what happens in that kind of fraternity or in the army, if you have something that could make a whole department look bad, they would rather sacrifice you, just one person, for the greater good of the reputation of a whole unit. You know, that's part of the reason why I know that I'm not built for the army, fraternities, the cops, because I know if something is corrupt, if they feel that I'm not willing to stand on something corrupt, they feel like they might have to take care of me. But yeah, you know, he was real smart because he made it look like a suicide, and because the police were uncomfortable with how she was moving anyway, there's going to be less incentive to investigate him for potential homicide, because they're looking at it like she took care of our problem for herself. The only thing that I kind of caught, and I don't know if y'all caught up on this too, it seemed to imply that she might have had some relationships, some lesbian relationships with some younger women. Like they didn't come right out and say that, but they kind of imply, and I 100% was sure that she wanted to get into a relationship with Jukebox. Like she wanted that. You know, she was kind of, excuse me, YouTube, but hey, it is what it is. She was kind of grooming Jukebox to potentially be a love interest. I could just pick up on it. So the final thing we gotta talk about, and then I'm gonna sign off of here, is Wood Harris. Man, how gangster is Wood Harris, man? Do y'all realize that man is 54 years old? Do he look like he's 54? You know? And when 50 Cent was narrating it, he was like, he is the ninja that even the most cutthroat ninjas try to stay out of his way. And when he was eating his cereal, didn't it come off like it? And then he said, did you run into some trouble? And Unique was trying to play it off like, what? He said, you're asleep. Like, hey, that's two things. That's a dude that's been locked up for a long time. And that's a dude that even if he hadn't been locked up, he has the instincts and intelligence of a police officer, even though he's a street dude, doing the opposite of what police do. Because he noticed that before Unique could even realize that he was exposed. And then when he told him, oh, I just cut my hand, blah, 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 he said something to the effect like, you still full of it. You know, he basically saying, I'm your big brother. You know who I am. You know what I do. Like, why even lie to me in that instance? You could have just fessed up to that. But at any rate, I think the show's incredible. And so since the show is called Raising Kanan, I feel like they didn't give Kanan a whole lot to do this episode. I kind of wanted him going off on his mom to be a little bit more explosive. But, you know, it was just one of those episodes where everything was at like a slow pace. You know, they didn't give Lou a whole lot to do. We kind of complain about Rock. They gave Marv quite a bit to do. They didn't give Kanan a whole lot to do, except complain about his mom and tell her to his face that he's done messing with her. All right, y'all. It's Friday. Enjoy y'all Friday. Have a good weekend. We out.